Senior High School On-Air Academy. Unstoppable! Delivering you quality education amidst pandemic.
To defer school opening to October 5.
Unstoppable!
Giving you accessible learning platform anytime, anywhere.
Ang klase, whatever form it is.
Comprehensible!
Buckle up and get yourself ready.
I will repeat, then you will do it later on.
Accurate!
The sphere that includes all living things.
Today, we will be talking about rational functions.
Simplified.
This is Jaw speaking. How may I help you?
This is DepEd School Radio's Senior High School On-Air
On-Air
Academy. And now, here's your new episode 4.
Walking like a boss.
Your guide in the subject, organization and management.
Walking like a boss. Walking like a boss. Walking like a boss. Good day, dear learners. Welcome again to our radio-based instruction of organization and management. We are glad of your willingness to learn through radio. It's me again, Sir Jeremy Hilbaliga, your teacher on air. Listen, learn, and have fun. Are you ready? Okay, let's begin. Reminder, dear learners, before we start, please make sure that you are in your most comfortable place to study and make sure you can clearly hear our broadcast today. Next, please make sure you've taken your meal because it's better to learn and understand our lesson if your tummy is filled. Anyway, you can have your snacks and have your favorite beverage with you while listening so that you could be more attentive and focus to clearly understand today's lesson. For our past episode, we have discussed about business environment. Can you still recall what business environment is? Correct! Business environment refers to the factor or elements affecting a business organization. We also discussed that business environment can be classified into two, namely internal environment and external environment. Further, we tackled about the different factors that would affect the business environment. But before we proceed, let's check your quiz for the previous episode. The instruction in your quiz is you have to identify whether the given item is under political, economic, sociological, or technological. Here are the items under each category. First, under political are global influences, potential changes to legislation, and lastly, stability of government. Next, under economic are economic growth, employment rates, inflation rates, monetary policy, and lastly, consumer confidence. Next, under sociological are income distribution, demographic influences, and lifestyle factors. Lastly, under technological are international influences, changes in information technology, and take-up rates. There you have it. What is your score? Did you get a perfect score? Write your score on the top of your paper. Good job! Set yourselves, relax, and stay tuned because we will start our lesson after this short infomercial.
Tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na!
Naku Mare, nabalitaan kong magbibigay na daw ang mga guro ng learning modules. Ibig bang sabihin nito, tayo nang magtuturo sa mga bata? Ipinasa na nila ang kanilang trabaho. Wala na silang gagawin, samantalang tayo ang aako sa trabaho nila. Ano ba yan?
Ganito yan, Mare. Base sa pagkakaintindi ko sa nakaraang orientation sa DepEd, Ang mga magulang ang gagabay sa pag-aaral ng ating mga anak bilang hindi pa naman pwede ang face-to-face na klase. Aalalay lang tayo sa gagawin ng ating mga anak habang sila ay nasa tahanan. May gagawin pa rin naman ang mga guro. Sila ang maghahanda at magbibigay wasto sa mga learning modules na gagamitin ng mga mag-aaral.
Ganun pala yun, Mare. Magiging madali ang pagkatuto ng ating mga anak sa tulong at pag-alalay ng mga magulang.
Tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na!
Nay, paano po kaya ako makakapag-aral ngayong pasukan? Wala naman po tayong sapat na pera upang makabili ng makabagong teknolohiya tulad ng cellphone, internet at laptop.
Anak, huwag kang mag-alala. Mayroon naman tayong radyo. Narinig ko kanina sa isang anunsyo na magagamit ang radyo sa inyong pag-aaral. Ito ay tinatawag na Radio-Based Instruction o RBI.
RBI? Ano po yun, Inay?
Ang RBI ay isang alternatibong pamamaraan na inilunsad ng DepEd upang maihatid ang mga kaalaman sa pamamagitan ng pakikinig sa radyo.
Paano po ito gamitin, Nay?
Bubuksan mo lamang ang ating radyo at hanapin ang Radyo Eskwela. Ito ay mapapakinggan mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes sa oras ng alas 9 ng umaga hanggang alas 4 ng hapon.
Wow! Ang ganda naman yan, Nay! Excited na ako sa darating na pasukan! Isang impormasyon mula sa kagawaran ng edukasyon at ng himpilang ito.
Isang paalala mula sa kagawaran ng edukasyon at ng himpilang ito.
And we are back! Learners, I hope you're all set and everyone is ready and excited to listen now and learn because we are about to explore new ideas and knowledge in the world of business. Do you want to have a business someday? If yes, what business would you like to start up and why? Very good! Our topic today will help you in choosing your future business. Let's start! Today, we will discuss about the different forms of business organizations, how these forms differ from each other, the advantages and disadvantages of each form and its economic roles. So, let's get started. Before we proceed, we have to define basic key terms. Since we are talking about forms of business organization, we have to define what an organization is and recall what business organization is. Now, do you know what an organization is? Organization is a collection of people working together to achieve common purpose. How about business organization? Do you still recall what business organization means? Business organization is a collection of people working together to achieve a common purpose in relation to their organization's mission, vision, goals, and objectives, sharing a common organizational culture. Organizational culture is the set of beliefs and values shared by organization members which guide them as they work together to achieve their common purpose. There are 4 forms of business organizations, namely, number 1, sole proprietorship, number 2, partnership, 3, corporation, and 4, cooperative. So first, let's begin with sole proprietorship. Do you have an idea about sole proprietorship? Okay, let's see whether we share the same idea. A sole proprietorship is a business owned by only one person or individual. It is considered as the simplest and most common form of business organization. Here are some advantages of sole proprietorship business. Number 1, it is easy to start and operate. Number 2, in this business, the owner has full control of the operation, meaning he or she makes all the decisions regarding the business. Number 3, since it is only owned by one person, therefore, the owner keeps all the profits. On the other hand, here are some disadvantages. Number 1, it has a limited life. The life of the business is dependent on the life of its owner. Once the owner dies, the business will stop to operate under the name of the proprietor. Question: can the business be transferred to the family of the owner after? Yes, but they should register the business again under the name of the new owner. Number 2, difficulty in raising capital. The amount of capital is limited only by the wealth of the owner. Number 3, unlimited liability. The owner is legally obliged to pay all the business debts. Well, have you decided what form of business you might engage in the future? If not, here's another form of a business organization. Partnership. A partnership is a form of business owned by two or more persons putting their resources as a common fund. Generally, there are two types of partnership, namely, general partnership. All partners are general partners with unlimited liability. Number 2, limited partnership. With limited partners and one general partner, the owners of the partnership are called partners. The details of the arrangement between the partners are outlined in a written document called Articles of Partnership. The profit of the business is divided among the partners based on their agreed sharings. Here are the advantages of a partnership business. Number 1, higher capital compared to sole proprietorship, because two or more persons will contribute to the common fund. Number 2, easy to form and operate. On the other hand, here are the disadvantages. Number 1, a partner can be held liable for the acts of the other partners. Number 2, unlimited liability. Personal properties of the partners can be held beyond their contributions and may be used to pay for any liability of the partnership, except for the case of a limited partner. In case the partnership is dissolved, a limited partner is held only limited to its contributions. Number 3, high possibility of disagreement among partners. Another form of business organization is a corporation. A corporation is a business organized as a separate legal entity, meaning it is an artificial being under the corporation law with the ownership divided into transferable shares of stocks. Take note, it is the law that creates a corporation. What law is that? It is the Corporation Code of the Philippines. Corporators are those who compose a corporation. Incorporators are those who are mentioned in the articles of incorporations. They are the ones who originally formed the corporation. There are two types of corporation: profit corporation and non-profit corporation. Profit corporation issues to its owners shares of stocks which are evidenced by a stock certificates. The owners of profit corporation is called shareholders or stockholders. On the other hand, a non-profit corporation does not issue shares of stocks. The owners of non-profit corporation are called members. A corporation can only begin its existence when the article of incorporation is already approved by the Security and Exchange Commission. It is the government agency primarily tasked to regulate private corporations in the Philippines. The management of the business is delegated by the shareholders to the board of directors. Here are some advantages of a corporation business. Number 1. Can easily raise funds since there are many owners. Raising of additional fund is easy by selling shares of stocks to the public. Number 2. Shareholders are not personally liable for the debts of the corporation. The extent of their liability is only limited to their ownership in the corporation. On the other hand, here are the disadvantages. Number 1. It is relatively complicated and costly to set up. Number 2. Subject to several legal restrictions as listed in the Corporation Code of the Philippines. Number 3. Profit is taxed at a corporate tax rate. Number 4. Shareholders are taxed again when the profits are distributed to them. Last but not the least form of business organization is cooperative. What is a cooperative, learners? A cooperative is a duly registered association of persons with a common bond of interest, voluntarily joining together to achieve their social, economic, and cultural needs. The owners are called members and are usually composed of at least 15 persons or individuals. The members are expected to patronize the products and services of a cooperative. Board of directors and officers are elected to manage the operation of the business. Buying shares is a requirement for a person to become a part of a cooperative. A cooperative usually have a set of bylaws and articles of cooperation. Rules and regulation can be seen in the bylaws and articles of a cooperative, while the articles of the cooperation contain the other details of the cooperative. The agency that regulates cooperative in the Philippines is the Cooperative Development Authority or CDA. Here are some advantages of cooperative business. Number 1. Unlimited life. Change in members does not dissolve the business. Number 2. Promotes the concept of sharing resources. On the other hand, here are the disadvantages. Number 1. Limited distribution of surplus. Usually, cooperatives distribute surplus once a year in the form of divided or rebate. Number 2. Requires continuous education program for members. Trainings and seminars are costly. And number 3, members have active and direct participation in the business of the cooperative. There you have it, the different forms of business organization. My question for you, my dear learner, is, what do you think is the economic role of business organizations? Say for example, a big company put up their factory in a community. What do you think will be the effects of its existence, particularly to the people in the community? Correct! There will be more jobs for the people in that community. What do you think will be the effect if the people there will get their jobs because of the factory? Absolutely! If there are jobs, therefore, there will be source of income which will be used by the people in buying their necessary needs. If there are an excess money from their salary or wages, the people may use it in investing or start saving for the future needs. In this case, the quality of life of the people living in that community will improve. There you have it, our lesson for today, learners. I hope you were able to gain all the information and knowledge with regards to the different forms and economic roles of business organizations. Now, let's sum up all the learnings that we have discussed today. First, we discussed the difference among the different forms of business organizations, and also tackled about the advantages and disadvantages of each form. Also, we tackled about the economic roles of business organization. To test whether you learned something today, we will have a short quiz. You may review the lesson we have just discussed and get ready for a quiz after a short infomercial.
Tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na!
Nay! Ang sabi sa balita, yellow warning ang ulan. Ibig ba sabihin kulay dilaw ang ulan?
Hindi anak. Ang tawag dyan ay rainfall warning. Ang yellow warning ay ginagamit para lamang paalalahanan ang mga mamamayan na maging mapagmatyag dahil posible ang pagbaha.
Meron din bang ibang kulay, inay?
Mayroong orange warning na nagpapahiwatig na kailangang maging alerto dahil mapanganib ang pagbaha. Merong ding red warning upang magpaalala sa mga residente sa mga mababang lugar na lumikas sa ligtas at mas mataas na lugar.
Ganoon ba, inay? Ngayon alam ko na.
Maging handa sa anumang sakuna. Isang paalala mula sa Department of Education, NDRRMC at ng himpilang ito.
Tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na!
And we are back! Get ready your paper and pen. Write your name, grade level, and section, and the date today. Alright, listen carefully. Let the quiz begin. For part 1, identify what is asked in each item. Let's start. Number 1. What is the term referred to a collection of people who are working together to achieve a common purpose in relation to their organization's mission, vision, goals, and objectives? I'll repeat. What is the term referred to as a collection of people who are working together to achieve a common purpose in relation to their organization's mission, vision, goals, and objectives? Number 2. What do you call the owner of a sole proprietorship business? Number 2. What do you call the owner of a sole proprietorship business? Number 3. How can a sole proprietorship be terminated? Number 3. How can a sole proprietorship be terminated? Number 4. How many possible members does a cooperative must have? Number 4. How many possible members does a cooperative must have? Number 5. How can a partnership be terminated or dissolved? Number 5. How can a partnership be terminated or dissolved? For part 2, give one advantage for each of the following business organization. You may do this after the broadcast. And for part 3, write an essay on the question, what is the role of business organization in the economy? You may also do this after the broadcast. Time's up! Congratulations for finishing the test. We are going to reveal the answers next meeting. That's one accounting lesson down, and more to go. It's been a productive and informative day